The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to the crowds, "When you see a cloud rising in the west, you immediately say that it is going to rain, and so it does. And when you notice that the wind is blowing from the south, you say that it is going to be hot, and so it is. You hypocrites, you know how to interpret the appearance of the earth and the sky. Why do you not know how to interpret the present time? Why do you not judge for yourselves what is right? If you are to go with your opponent before a magistrate, make an effort to settle the matter on the way. Otherwise, your opponent will turn you over to the judge, and the judge hand you over to the constable, and the constable throw you into prison. I say to you, you will not be released until you have paid the last penny." The Gospel of the Lord. As we hear St. Paul talk in the first reading, reminds me of something that's present for us here in the Archdiocese of Omaha. Maybe it's something you have heard about, maybe not. Just out of curiosity, were there any of you physically present here in the church? I mean, maybe you can do it if you're watching online too. But were any of you at the Unite Arch Omaha conference that happened about a year ago, last summer 2019? Big event down at the CHI Health Center, formerly known as the Quest Center. Archbishop was there, and a bunch of other people were there. There was a big cross and light music and play with Jesus' life. A lot of different events that took place throughout the day. There was a Unite thing for kids and for younger people too. So is anybody, by show of hands, was anybody happen to be there? Maybe not. Oh, we did have a couple. All right, good. So I mentioned that in particular because it was something that came forth from as a fruit of Archbishop's vision. And so you probably remember hearing a little bit about this vision for the Archdiocese, which isn't so much the vision that Archbishop decided to give to all of us, but something that he thought through talking with all the parishes in the Archdiocese and through prayer, that this is something the Lord is really calling us to. And his vision was summarized in this way: one church, encountering Jesus, equipping disciples, living mercy. 4 parts to it. I think of it because St. Paul here is saying, we are one body, one spirit. We're called to one hope. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who's over all and through all and in all. And I hear reflected in that this thing which is very much given to us for our time. And so the vision is there as a goal for each one of us, and not just for the adults in the church, but also for all of you. We are to be one church, encountering Jesus, equipping disciples, and living mercy. So just to speak a little bit about each one, one church. And this is what St. Paul is talking about, that we live in unity, united as one body in Christ. And for each of us, that means that every day as we live out our lives, we should try to be a force for unity, not a force for division. That we should assist each other rather than tear each other down, speak kindly to each other rather than make fun of each other. We can become united by loving each other in that way. Encountering Jesus, which is the source and center of all, as we hear St. Paul saying, that we are called as one in the Lord. All of us, all of you, have a chance to encounter Jesus. We can talk to him. He's alive. He's not just somebody that we study about, but somebody we can talk to. We hear him talk to us in the scriptures, and in a very special way, when we come to the Mass and when we receive Jesus, we have the chance to encounter Jesus, the real Jesus who walked the face of the earth 2,000 years ago, but is still alive today and still working to be with us. We can encounter him. Equipping disciples is something that all of you are kind of a part of. You are being equipped as you're learning about Jesus in school. So equipping disciples means that we're prepared for the mission that Jesus is giving us. All of us are going to be called to share the light of the gospel in some way in our lives. For some people, as married men and women, and having a family, and then forming your family to grow as a holy people. For some of you, it'll be being a priest, or being a nun, or being a monk. God might call you to those ways of giving witness to him. And for the mission that God has prepared for us, he equips us. He gives us all of the things that we need, all the tools that we need to accomplish it. And one of the great ways that we grow in that is by learning about him, learning what it is he's calling us to, learning how to follow him, learning how to pray, learning how to show people that we love Jesus. We are being equipped, and all of you, especially as you get ready and spend time in our school. And then, of course, lastly, living mercy, which is closely connected to the first one, too. That as a way of keeping us united, we need to be merciful to the people around us. So if somebody does something that's harmful to us, that we forgive them. If we see somebody who's in need, that we're ready to help them out. Maybe as a family, you might help out some of the people that are poor in our community. We live mercy. We give generously of ourselves to help the people around us. So again, we hear St. Paul's sort of vision statement, which kind of echoes the vision statement that's given for all of us in the Archdiocese of Omaha, that we would be one church, united, encountering Jesus in the Eucharist especially, and in our prayer, equipping disciples, learning about him, being made ready for our mission, and living mercy, going out and being forgiving and giving of ourselves generously to the people around us.